All right, welcome back. Here we have yet another EverQuest video, but this one's important. This one is after Acadius left, and we now have a working installer, one-click installer to be exact, right here. And then of course there's one for Linux. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move on over to the virtual machine, which is not that. That would be here. And we don't need that open. Go away. There we are. All right. So I forget what I used this virtual machine for at one point in time. I had Docker Desktop for some reason. Don't worry about it. You're not going to need any of that. All we need is this installer right here, right there. Good news, right? Good news for everybody. So we're going to, I don't think you have to run it as administrator, but I'm not going to run into, or not going to risk running into any problems. So I'm going to go ahead and move this up here a little bit so we can just kind of see here. And there we go. All right. So I'm going to leave it in the folder server, since it recommends server. But what I am going to do though is I'm going to change this. So I'm going to put all the stuff in the actual EQ server folder like that. Sorry, it's running and dragging a little slow. It is a virtual machine, and I've got a bunch of stuff going on the server too. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and do that. We're going to do the same thing here, but we're going to leave it as code. You can just put it in the recommended places. You don't have to do this. I just do this to keep everything in one spot because sometimes I use these virtual machines for more than one server video. And the reason I did all lowercase is just because you don't have to. You can give them uppercases or whatever you want. Okay, so there we go. Now we have that server code path, EQ server, EQ server. Okay. I do not have an existing SQL server, so default is N or no. So I'm going to leave it like this. I'm going to leave the database as PEQ. You can change it. I'm going to leave the login or the username as EQEMU. And I'm just going to give it a super simple generic, I don't know, like, I don't know what path. Let's just give it something simple. You'll probably see it later on. So I'm just going to pick some numbers here like that. And then we'll confirm it. Yeah, I didn't like that. Let's delete that just in case. Let's see. Let's put them in again. There we go. All right. We're going to leave it as admin. And the Spire password. I don't like this blinky. It did it on another virtual machine too. I don't understand why. But anyway. All right. We're going to make it the same password for now. You're going to want to change your stuff. You're not going to want to do it as simple as mine. We're going to leave the web port the same. And here you got a chance to enable bots. So yes, we will enable them. And then yes, mercenaries. And when you hit Y, it prints it again, but fills in the Y. So you just hit enter. So that's why it looks like it does it twice. I don't know if you can see it, but ever so dark here in the background, you can see that it's like downloading and doing stuff. Now, this is going to take some time. It looks like it's frozen. It'll sit here forever. And you're just, wondering what the hell is going on. Occasionally, what I would do is just click on the window and just like hit the enter key once or twice. And sometimes it would continue because like it might be continuing in the background, but not updating the actual screen. So you can see it's 10, this says 10:12. Actually, the time's off. But anyway, you say this, you see this says 10:12. I'm going to pause this. I'll come back occasionally because this will take 5, 10, 15 minutes or something like that. We'll see what happens. But I'm going to pause it because you don't need to sit here and watch me, look at the screen. So I'll be right back. It's only been a whole 2 minutes, but so apparently it is still installing Perl. I think it's going to install Strawberry. I think that's what the latest version. Yeah, Strawberry Perl right up there. Okay, just letting you know. I know it's only been 2 minutes, but I don't want you to think that I did something behind the scenes or something. So yeah, we're still sitting here. All right, it just continued on to the next one. You can see it's 19 after now, so it's already been 7 minutes just to install the one thing. Now, again, keep in mind this is a virtual machine. It is running slower. If you're putting this on your main desktop PC, it might move faster. I mean, there's a good bet it would move faster. But I just want to keep you up to date, let you know it moved on to what did it move on to? MySQL or MySQL. Uh, this one will take, well, okay, I thought it was going to take longer, but there you go. You just saw it move on. So yeah, it's getting some files, cloning repository, doing what it needs to do, and it's continuing on. So I'm going to go ahead and pause this. Yeah, hit enter, nothing happened. So yeah, I'm going to pause this and I'll be back again. We'll see what's happening. All right, so it was like about 19 after when it got to this point. You can see it still appears like it's hanging. That's me scrolling, not it doing anything. Um, so just want to let you keep in mind or let you know, just yeah, it'll take a while. I wish there was some little like like they have that little like asterisk that kind of looks like it's rotating or spinning, just make it look like it's doing something, but it is doing something. When it is done, it will open another window, close this one, open up a browser, and it'll open up. It'll give you the first initial install for Spire, and we can go from there. So I want to pause it again. I'll be right back. All right. It just started moving. I hit enter and it started to move, so I thought I'd pop on and record real quick so you can see. It was up here, and this is the new update stuff. It's downloading. This one says 43. I don't know if you can read it, but it says 43%. Let's see here. This first file was maps. Yep. I don't know what this one is, though. It doesn't tell me what this one is. Unless, oh, this is what it is. It is downloading the map. Sorry, the URL is here. The file is maps.zip, and now it's downloading maps.zip. Okay, so that's why it's taking a while. So there it goes. Oh, it moved a little bit. There it goes. It's moving. I don't know if you can see it. It's right here, and now it's over here. All right, so it is moving. Give it another few seconds here. It shouldn't have too much more to go. Every time I scroll up, it scrolls down when it updates the screen. 90, and it's 100%. Okay. And this will include the login server, by the way. I have issues trying to figure out how to set that up. I did manage to get a version of my game to connect and was able to log into the world. Well, I logged into the Mines of Glooming Deep and then quit. Um, but please do not send me a bunch of messages about, oh, I have this version or what version. Nothing's changed. This is the same as before. There's pretty much just a couple of versions of EverQuest that work. I'll go over it later, but the one I'm using right now is EverQuest Titanium. That's usually my go-to, and I have used the EverQuest free-to-play Reign of Fear. Is that what ROF is? Reign of Fear, I think. I have used that version to connect as well. Let me go back. Where is EQ? EQ host. There we are. Leave that up for later. Okay, so it's extracting now. Yeah, destination source. Okay, there we go. Now it's doing more stuff. Yay! So these are the quests. All right, well, I'm going to pause again. You'll need to sit here and watch this, but you can see that it is moving. This is what you can expect to see. I'll be right back. All right, started moving again, and you can see it got a database, and it's doing the creating. Oh, okay, it has an error at line 1 in file create table content. That's not nice. I don't know if it'll continue after this. This is not something I encountered. I obviously did this once on another virtual machine, but I didn't pay this close attention to it, so I don't know. I mean, at the end of the day, when it comes down to it, you can download and update a database or all the databases that's required here, and update them and install them or update them yourself. That you can do. Um, I believe I actually did that in the last video. Didn't go very smooth, but I was able to get it done. So this is concerning me at the moment. I don't know if it's going to continue on past this. But I'm going to pause, give it some more time. I'll be right back. All right. Well, I'm a little bit more concerned because there was a whole bunch of errors there, but it looks like it moved right on. But that doesn't mean that the database is full. But it could have happened on my other one. Let's scroll up and see what we got. And it keeps updating, so it keeps bringing it back down here. All right. Titanium. I saw titanium and SOD. EQInstaller tools. Well, at least it is moving forward though, but database has me concerned. But I will leave that up to you guys to test because I am not going to fully play this and try to find out what quests are there and what aren't. What you could do is give it a play. If they're missing, take a screenshot or whatever and find out what the command is that it's trying to run and see what the error actually is, and maybe you can just fix it. I'm not too sure about that, but it's possible. All right, still nothing. Oh, there it goes. It's creating the tables in the database for Spire just fine. All right, looks like, yep, it's about finished. This is one of the last things it does is pop this up. So it's got a little bit more to go, but we're getting close. So it says main current expansion is Dragons of Norath. Now, for those of you that are not, or that didn't understand how EQEMU and them were able to do this, is they used to have permission. I don't know if they have that anymore. Jackasses out there were starting to charge for their servers and stuff, and became competition for Daybreak, and yeah, and all kinds of shit happened. So anyway, back when Sony actually owned it, they allowed them to recreate the servers and the quests and everything with it, with their blessing, but they had to stay so many um, releases behind. So they could never actually have the most current expansion. I don't know how many expansions packed behind they had to be, but they were only allowed, like, if a new expansion came out or another two or something, they were allowed to go up to one more expansion kind of thing. But they had to stay so far behind, that way they, wouldn't be any real competition when it was still being developed and that. All right. Oh, there's my generic password. Yay. Told you I was using something real generic, 4 numbers. So anyway, so it pops that up. And then Spire is going to pop up here. Yay. Now, I'm not going to worry about authentication for mine. You can click that and do a username and password. I'm not going to worry about it. We're going to hit finish. And yes, that's how I want to install it. We can close that because you don't really need that open. And it installed your options. Here you go. The last update to Spire was January 15th, 2026. Fairly recent. I mean, I know it was like, what, 7 months ago. So we're going to hit server admin. And right now, nothing's running. So you can hit offline. We're going to hit power on. And there's, can I make this bigger? It's one thing about the virtual machine window, you know. Yeah, now it's not going to let me. Spire's in the way. Hold on. How do I close Spire? There it is. All right. So we're going to actually run the login server as well. I'm not going to worry about the zones. I'm just going to let everything stay like it is. Start the pre-flight. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to close because we need to fix some stuff. We're going to allow access. I should have checked private networks too. Not that it matters. I mean, I've never had to open ports or do anything strange for internal network. Okay. Running pre-flight checks still. I'm not going to start it yet. There's some changes I want to make yet. I meant to do that first, and I just got a little carried away here. So come on. I mean, I could start server now. It looks like it'll work just fine, but let's go on over here. Let's go to configurations, server configs. We're going to close this. All right, let's go ahead and let's change this. Yeah, I want not so world, not WAP world, whatever the hell that is. We'll call this NEP. All right. That's like really squashed. Why is this so bad? Anyway, all right. So you can leave that, I guess. This one you want to change to your IP, 192.168.2, and I forgot to look, so you need to find out what your IP address is. This one is going to be 84. 84. Just like that. I don't think we need this, but just in case. Whoa, why did it move it over there? Because it was delayed. '84, I believe I said, right? Yeah. I was gonna say, yeah, there's a save down here. So we're gonna save all that. The 5999 one I put in, that's, you shouldn't have to, but that should, I don't think it'll work, but it's supposed to be for the other client. One of the clients, or a couple of the clients use 5999. The other clients normally use 5998. So, okay. So we got networking. If you're on a LAN, okay, so we got to change this 192.168.2.84. It says do not use 127, whatever, whatever, whatever. So that's going to be the same for my public address for now because it's going to be internal and I'm not playing on the same machine. This is, like I said, a remote machine for me. Zone server. So you shouldn't have to change anything else here. Everything else here should be the same. So for world server, server naming, networking key. There it is. Generate a random key. Okay, it doesn't seem to be generating very well. All right, that's all right. Whatever. We'll just save it there. Okay, so now we are going to go up here. And now we're going to power on. We're going to run the login server, like I said. Now we'll run some pre-flight checks. Content flags. Oh, they got, oh, Halloween, Frostfell, EQ anniversary. They're all disabled. I'm sure you can go in and disable or enable them. Not sure what they'll do, but it'd be interesting to try, right? All right, we got green down the board. Let's go ahead and let's start. We're going to go back to admin here. Unlike the older EQ servers, this doesn't have 5, 6, 7, 10, 12 windows that open. I think this one will actually close on its own over time, but I'm just going to minimize it. Yeah, it closed. So, all right, now we're just waiting on the zones. And I did not start the query server. All right. This says everything's up and running. All right. So anybody that knows EQ from playing this, you're going to change your host to 84. That's the IP address of this PC. And save it. And then you're going to want to make a shortcut of your EQ game. And then you're going to go to properties and you're just going to add patch me. Put a space after the exe and just patch me, just like that. You're not going to want to put it, there's no quotes or dashes or anything. So we're going to go ahead and hit connect, or we're going to double click the executable here, accept, and then log in and just pick a username. This is a brand new database for me and everything. This is actually stored, I guess, somewhere in the actual files here, the setup. So just put in whatever passwords you want. It'll create, or it should create an account for you. There you go. Look, we have Not So World, and it is up. So we select it, play EverQuest, and there's that music in the loading screen. There you go. We can create a new character. I don't know. Pick yourself a name. There you go. Welcome to EverQuest. Wow, I forgot this uses the arrow keys. Wow. Anyway, there you go. I'm now into the server. Enjoy. I will see you on the next one.